Kind of Egg Radio, Kind of Egg Radio, Kind of Egg Radio, Kind of Egg Radio, Kind of Egg Radio.
Welcome to the Kind of Egg podcast. Yeah.
Kind of Egg Radio podcast.
Radio podcast.
On the wonderful Spotify.
Where today is Spotify.
Yeah.
And then podcast.
Yeah. As
Excellent.
opposed to our radio show.
Yes, the radio show you can find on K4CO. We do a show every night.
K4CO.com. So wherever you are, it's a Colorado-based show, but you could see it from anywhere in the internet.
Yes.
Well,
So get the
hear
app.
it.
It's an app.
Hear it.
Get the app. Get us on your phone.
Yeah.
I used to do these really long drives in California back and forth from work, like right around 9 o'clock. And there's actually a low-level community radio station that you get just as you're going over the fucking grapevine. And it's fucking just the craziest songs and the craziest like episode. This podcast that's pretty big now. It started there called the Sofa Kim podcast. And it's the only, it used to be just on this radio station that you get going over the fucking grapevine. They grew that into, such a huge property now.
It's my opinion, if you name something with a great pun, it is destined for greatness and longevity.
It is the best fucking name. But welcome to the goddamn podcast.
We're here with Mr. Brice Maiurro.
Yes.
Yes, our very first poet. Dare we say, not to play favorites, kind of our favorite poet in the area.
Oh, well, that's so nice.
Yeah, seriously. Boy has chops. Creative.
We enjoy your work thoroughly.
Yeah. Let's just get into this guy. So I met you, I believe we met at a poetry reading at the Mercury.
Yeah, either
Mutiny?
Mutiny, or Corner Beat, probably. One of those three. But I think it was at Mutiny.
Yeah.
Mutiny, because you're a founding member of the...
Of Punketry.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
Who we had those guys on, I think.
We did.
Maybe a couple times.
Black Market Translation, yeah. Our longest episode. We were in here for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
We hung out
Because,
for like 5 hours. They came, we set up, we just
Use our
filmed,
camera capability.
and then we all went out for fucking Indian food at like midnight.
So there was a post podcast.
yeah.
too,
Oh, we
still
did.
rolling.
There's an after party of that one, yeah. The world's only jam band, TM.
Yeah, we did a whole after party episode where we were just talking about everything from music to philosophy to physics. In this
that's
parking
awesome.
lot, getting high outside this Indian restaurant.
And then, great, delicious little India cuisine. Love
Cool
that
guys.
place.
Sounds awesome.
And you, so I met you there.
Uh-huh. I think I was doing Punch Drunk Showcase where I had like a mix of performers. And you played
Yes,
some
I do
music.
believe this.
Yeah.
Which that space was so amazing for those kinds of things. Like first time I moved out here from California, that's what I really flew to because free events, you go. All of you guys are really brilliant, but that's the first time I heard you read.
Yeah.
So you ran an event that was kind of like an open mic of mixed variety show?
Yeah, that was a short-lived thing, probably about 6 months. But I was doing Punch Drunk Press and publishing some local poets, and we just did a showcase once, I think, a month at Mutiny, and it was a good way to connect because I think poets keep to poets sometimes, and I got to meet some people I normally wouldn't have.
I asked you before the interview, but it's worth mentioning. How do you feel about the Mutiny change and its new venue and the future of Mutiny information?
I mean, I think there was some collective grief with the move and just kind of saying goodbye to that space that, like you said, like there were so many. It's a hub and it really kind of draws
Fucking
people
iconic
to it.
is the name. It was an iconic place. Yes.
Yeah.
That location specifically, right there on that corner, very iconic. The people you meet outside are, some of the coolest people I think I've met in Colorado.
Absolutely. If you want to meet someone cool, just go stand outside
Yeah.
Mutiny in Denver and you'll run into someone doing something awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, where they've moved now, it's what a lot of people saying. That's a hot new area. Like, it's where, a lot of people are moving. I guess Denver's pricing a lot of cool places out. And so that's the up and coming cool zone, I guess.
Yeah. I was driving around there recently, and there was some cool stuff. There's a bar called the DeLorean. I didn't know that was out.
Brand new.
so
It's
cool.
brand new. It's like a
1980s.
80s strobe. I know. I want to go. Did you go in yet?
No, I haven't.
Let's
but
go,
Let's
guys.
do it. I'm
Let's
down.
do it. I'm down.
Yeah,
So done.
yeah, that sounds fun. Englewood's got a bunch of cool stuff. They got Brewability, which just has a really good mission. And
Oh yeah, really good
pizza and
yeah,
beer and
pizza.
Yeah, there's all sorts of cool
Heard
stuff. Over
much
Yeah.
note of the pizza there.
As a way to actually, though, plug one of our own things, our very first publication, A More Perfect Union, is at the Mutiny Information Cafe.
Heck yeah.
So if you're watching this and you're in the Denver area, you could actually go there and pick up that book.
You could.
Or you could go to kindofvaguerecords.com.
Yes.
Anyway, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, click on merch and books. and
That's
it's
going to be
there.
hopefully a near and dear place to our heart. We're obviously in totally infancy as a publication, publisher, but Mutiny stands as the first retail outlet we got our product in, and I think that
That's a
Yeah.
it will be a
great
thing. That
place.
will be a thing.
Kind of.
I want to get our product in more places, but they were the first, and it's really nice to have the first. Because then the second, I don't know, people are going, what are your creds? Where are you at? Oh, this place has me. This place has me.
It's also a rare business that's willing to say, all right, let me throw you some cash for your stuff and I'll shelve it.
Yeah, right. That's right. They paid us on the spot for it. He's just here. I'll buy these 2 books. Oh, okay.
Yeah, opens the
That's
cash
as easy as
register
it's like, yeah,
and
that's what
pays
happened.
it and
That just explains them to a T, really. Like, they're a place you can come and do that. In Denver, especially, I think I haven't been here long, but I feel that's the feel. A lot of people a lot of those places are gone now.
How did you hook up with Mutiny in the first place to start Puppetry
tell us
and go
the
there?
story.
I had a couple really good friends, Kate Damali and Verinia Rodriguez, who were regulars there, and honestly, just in my early 20s, I would go to South Broadway and I'd be looking for something to do, and I would, they used to have the performances up front, which was really cool because you just be walking by and just see 30 people stuffed in this space,
And you could probably hear it from the street a little bit.
you could hear it from the street totally, and
Something about poetry being heard right from as you pass. It's happening around you.
yeah, and I saw a lot of comedy there up front, which was just cool because I think there's something about local comedy where you really only sink, you kind of sink or swim. But there's
True
also
enough.
there's an art to the sinking too, and how you navigate that, and it was just always cool to see these comedians kind of put themselves out there and trying to figure it out. And we get so much of the well crafted on television comedy, but they did something cool, and it's so brave to I read my poetry, but I think knowing you need that validation of a laugh,
yeah.
or something that's vulnerable.
And the
that
open
is.
mic night that we put on.
You're expecting only one answer to
Right.
this, right? I mean, everyone else is I'll take sides, I'll take all these things. No, I need a laugh or it doesn't
or a
work.
groan.
Yeah. As a poet, you can get a nice, cool silence kind
Yeah,
of going
right.
on. But
Reverence.
if you're a comedian with a cool silence, it's
Not so cool.
Not so
It
cool.
is. But yeah, our open mic, we have some comedians that come to that, and that's kind of what's interesting for me is there's one guy in particular that's honing a very crafted sort of act, and so we hear it week to week with the small changes he makes. He's tuning this thing this way and that way, how does it work? Oh, this didn't work as well. This worked better. Change it. So it's and I find it also very fascinating, the art of stand-up, because a joke is a joke with a setup and a punchline, but the words matter so much, and the words you use can either get a laugh or make people just go, huh, or chuckle. It's just just the order and cadence can really matter. It's fascinating.
Pacing,
fascinating.
too. Pacing is
fascinating stuff. Yeah.
It's wild.
something, I guess, that happens with poetry, too. I mean, getting the pacing, there's you could get along with it, but getting pacing perfect in a joke or in a delivery, that.
Yeah, right. The pauses. I'm thinking about back to variations on a plane. Not only there pauses on there's that part where you have to speak, where you do speak very fast when you're recounting the Matt Clifford quote.
Oh, and that's such a fun
it's
one.
It's a quote about a sloth, but yet you're speaking very fast.
That's such a fun one to just go 90 miles per hour through to.
God.
But I think in slowing down is the hardest thing when you're feeling like nervous to be on stage.
Yeah,
like
when you're
that,
live,
too.
no shit.
Yeah.
Musicians have the same
Do
fucking
y'all
problem.
end up playing faster?
Yes,
Oh, absolutely.
If you're not-
Positively.
We kind
Absolutely.
of build
Careful with
into
it.
that idea. Like you realize, I don't know, that like the song that you write is going to be the way it is like on the record, and then the way it is when you play it live, the
Yeah.
way it is when you play it like on the road, like we say we're out for, half a month. That's going to change the way the song is. And
Any musician that can
we allow
play,
that.
like,
We allow for that.
Yeah,
to a
that's
slow
cool.
tempo without a click. That's discipline, man.
I mean, and Bob Dylan's been touring forever, and now he sings a song, and he's like, "How many roads can a man walk down?"
Yeah.
So I think maybe we all just progressively get faster and faster.
Also,
huh?
but I gotta have a shout out to that new Dylan movie. I loved it so
did you see
goddamn
Haven't
much.
seen
It's
it.
my favorite. Like maybe after Dune 2.
I'm
my favorite
afraid to
movie
see
there.
it because I don't
love
want to
it.
love
Love
it.
it.
Everybody's
I love it. I
loving
love it.
it.
I love it.
They don't want to eat from the same trough, but all I hear is it's fucking perfect. And I'm like, God, we have a friend of the radio station who even got his song on the fucking on the movie.
Wow.
Derek
awesome.
Vanderhurst.
Yeah.
Vanderhurst. Sorry.
He was living here. He's done an episode, podcast with us actually in our old radio station.
The Denver Open Media.
Yeah. Got a song on the fucking movie. God
That's
damn.
rad.
Yeah.
He's living
That's a
in
big
France
deal.
right now. Like, motherfucker is killing it.
Yeah,
Shout out to Derek
I didn't
Vander.
sit through the end of the credits, so I couldn't tell if his song was maybe tagged on there or whether it was woven into a background of something at some point. So I actually, I saw the movie and I knew that he had a connection, but I missed hearing it. But
Was there something unique about this one? Because there's so many. There's a lot of great Dylan documentaries.
but this isn't a documentary. This is a biopic.
Oh, it's a biopic.
yeah,
It's
and
an actual-
Timothy Jet. So that's really
It's the first cinematic. I mean, and it's pretty surprising that like Dylan would approve a movie of himself.
And
It
it's
seems.
good,
Yeah.
Or did people just say like, "Look, we're gonna make the movie"?
And
like,
Timothy
you can
Chalamet-
participate how much you want.
He kills it as Dylan, but I have to give a shout out to fucking Ed Norton and as Pete Seeger.
Oh, awesome.
He just nails Pete Seeger. So I don't know that much about him, but I used to have this CD that I would listen to over again of Pete Seeger. And if you ever listen to him, you know that Pete Seeger always like kind of monologues along. And so I understood the inflections and speech patterns of Pete Seeger. And then Ed Norton comes along and he's like just nailing it. Like, you sound like that fucking CD I had, dude. Like,
That's amazing.
Good art, baby.
yeah, man.
Maybe it was Timothy Chalamet that Dylan was like, finally, this is the person to play me.
I mean, he put in a lot of work from all the
I gotta
articles I read
say-
about his. I mean, like, he'd been preparing for this shit for a long time, and really, they're like he took it with the most seriousness
Yeah,
that you
sure.
can do. Like, there's a reason why he's getting fucking nominated. At
I
such
never
young age
set
right
out to
now.
be a Timothy Chalamet fanboy from the least of it. But goddamn, if he just doesn't keep starring in like the movies that I love the fucking
Dune.
most.
Oh my god,
You
Dune
know?
was great. It was perfect, and he killed it.
Yeah, I was like, I guess you're my favorite.
He's
now, dude.
inarguable. He's
Yeah,
he's doing awesome.
he is doing pretty awesome. I do like his work, and honestly, this Dylan thing made me. I already liked him, but this is next level awesome. So
gotta
anyway,
check that out.
shout out to Dylan. Shout out to Timothy Chalamet. Shall we?
Shout out to Derek Vandross.
Shout out to Jerry Brandhurst.
Yeah.
Shall we get to a poem? The first poem of our podcast.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yay!
I brought some new stuff, but talking about variations. I was kind of wanting to revisit that.
You're not going to get any argument
Time.
from us, but it'll be hard. We'll be like, it's like.
I only know it with the bass and the
I know
drums.
we gotta have
with it.
doo-doo. But this is kind of like, you heard all those people that love to go to Wicked and sing along. We're gonna have to be fighting our urge.
Yes, I was just thinking that right now. It's like
Tasted it.
It would not
And
be
then he
nice for
tasted it again.
I say we go for it.
Just sing
Go for
along
it. I'm
with
gonna read it. And
The
if you
steam of my deceit is one of my favorite lines.
thank you.
It is perfect. Oh my god! All right,
Hey, I'm gonna read it. And if y'all want to, poets don't get that very often. Musicians do.
it seems rude.
Yeah, we won't get the cadence right.
Hey, if you want
Yeah,
to,
exactly. I like the way you do it.
Okay. Also, I just want to give a shout out to my dad because he grew up in Colorado, but he comes from Brooklyn Italians.
All right.
And I think some of the poems I was writing in this, I had kind of that like energy.
I like.
you know?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
And
totally.
that's part of my dad's charm, I think, is like we go to an Italian restaurant. He's like, "Can I get a side of marinara?" And like, he's just kind of got this vibe. So this is a side of marinara poem for sure. Variations on a complaint in a restaurant. I told the waiter that my soup was cold, and he threw it in my face and told me I sounded just like his ex-wife. I told the waiter that my soup was cold, and he left. He returned with a shovel and began digging through the tile floor of the restaurant into the dirt of the earth until he uncovered some kindling and 2 good sticks, which he used to start a fire. And over the fire, he heated my soup, and it was love. But that strange kind of love where someone creates a hard solution to show you the love they have for you. I said to the waiter that I knew he loved me before all that noise, that I was planning to tip him well and to tip him the same despite all of this. I told the waiter that my soup was cold, and the waiter said, "No, the soup isn't cold. You were just eating the soup at the wrong time." And I said, "Fine, then I'll go back and eat the soup when you're not working." I told the waiter that my soup was cold, and he sat down beside me, grabbed my spoon, and tasted it. Then he tasted it again and again until he'd eaten the whole bowl of soup. And then I looked in his kindful eyes, and we both opened our mouths and said, "Compersion," in the same song at the same moment. I told the waiter that my soup was cold, and the waiter told me that he had just been to the doctor. And the doctor told him that he had a degenerative disease and that his days alive on this planet were numbered. And I told the waiter that the soup is fine. It's fine. I told the waiter that my soup was cold, but it wasn't. He took the soup to the back and brought me out a fresh bowl of warm soup. He apologized profusely for the inconvenience, and I sat and waited alone in the steam of my deceit for the soup to cool so that I could drink it. I told the waiter that my soup was cold, and across the table, Matt Clifford shook his head at me and said, No, the soup isn't cold. You were too warm for the soup. Have you ever thought that a sloth doesn't see itself as slow moving, but rather revels in the joy that the world is moving so beautifully fast around it? No, you only think about yourself, said Matt Clifford. I told the waiter that my soup was cold, so he picked up the soup and threw it like a professional baseball fast pitch against the wall, and then his eyes, all kerosene and lit matchstick, he yelled, "Anger is a secondary emotion!" And I told him that doesn't bring my soup back. I told the waiter that my soup was cold, and I realized I was the waiter and that the soup was cold, and I had just been staring at this poor customer for an eternity as they starved in the section which I had most definitely neglected to properly take care of. I told the waiter that my soup was cold. I told myself that I deserved a better mirror. I told the rain to wait just a minute for me to take my shoes off. I told the ocean that today is not the day I walk into you. With intention, I tie up my boat in a landlocked state. I told the truth in almost all of my bodies. I told you a poem and you swallowed it like the New York Times, eating me with your eyes, and I let you swallow me. I let you swallow all of me because I'm in all of these restaurants, and the soup is always goddamn cold. Yeah! Oh, that's fun, man. That's a fun one to read.
Sorry, we clap in this room. I'm sorry.
Making up for.
That's okay. Poets accept all kinds of affirmations.
There's a couple variations on that from our recorded version, especially towards the end. I feel like there's a.
Yeah, you got me thinking about Monty
What's
Python.
Variations, right?
Yeah,
Totally.
I mean,
that's why I say
fits with the theme, I would say.
That's what I told him. It was a poetic. It reminded me of a Monty Python sketch.
Yeah.
Actually, I envisioned the entire thing as on Netflix. And Wes Anderson did a bunch of little shorts.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
those are
the
great.
Roald Dahl shorts?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw some of those.
Literally, the recording you have playing, and then Wes Anderson replaying like the variations in real
All right,
time
Wes,
with people
can we get you on this
shot
project?
as Wes Anderson would fucking shoot
Oh,
it.
that's awesome,
Maybe
man. I'm
we
here
could try
for
to
it.
do that. Shoot.
That's
the
my
style of
idea.
Wes Anderson.
Stamp that right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? Like, I mean,
We could figure this
the
out.
The fact that
There's-
all three of us know exactly what that is
It's a
really means
static
we could
camera
probably
shot.
just do
We
this.
got to figure out the background.
That would be cool, man.
Yeah, those things seem immensely planned out and pretty difficult to pull off, to be honest with you.
What all
I
that
feel
is,
like one shot.
all you're saying is that it's well, you can, their cuts are allowed. I mean, you know, I love.
Or you could stitch it together. You can be clever about
Well,
it.
because it's variation, so it's like you shooting these scenes over and over, and it always starts off, coming through the door, and then it's the new variation.
Yeah. There's a play actually called Variations on the Death of Trotsky, and that's what inspired that. It's this hilarious comedy play. You know Trotsky?
No.
He was like a kind of a revolutionary, and he ended up dying because someone took an axe pick and killed him with it because he was a revolutionary, and I don't know the whole story, but he died. But this play, he has the pick in his head, and it's just variations of him dying in scene after scene. So it's fantastic.
Oh my God, that's great.
This guy David Ives wrote it. It's super fun.
So you had that play in mind, and then you had a complaint at a restaurant, and just the light bulb.
Yeah, I wanted to do that same world thing where it's like you can go all over the place and have some fun with it.
That's great.
The many worlds theory now. You're just going through the parallel reality.
Right, man. In quantum physics, every single one of those variations happened.
I know, that's wild. So how does that... Do y'all know much about the quantum physics stuff?
Shit, man.
Does does anybody
ask
really
any
know?
human being that, and if they say yes, they're fucking wrong, and they're bullshitting you.
Well, this is my question.
Short of maybe Stephen Hawking or some real fucking...
maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson or something.
Not even him. He's more into astrophysics.
Yeah.
I know because I watch his podcast, and he will kind of get people ask him other scientific questions. He'll be just like,
I'm not a pro in that.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly.
Do y'all think that holds weight? Do you think there's multiple universes or worlds, realities?
I really don't.
It's hard to conceptualize. So there's a whole branch of science where your whole job is to take all those theories and can this actually be actualized? Is this all really? I mean, it may be good math on the paper, but how does this work in reality?
And that's
that we see around us. It's got to be applied.
It's just the fact that the shit in the quantum realm is probabilistic, and we don't understand what that means in a world where it's look, if I throw this lighter at you, it's going it's so everything we do
in another dimension.
We live in a very deterministic world of cause and effect, and then there's a quantum world of probability, and little particles appearing and disappearing, and that
what we consider
freaks us
probability,
out.
right? Because if we are saying that yes, there are multiple parallel universes, or even we're bubbles next to each other in this ever-growing bubble of realities. Those bubbles are rubbing against each other, and how much does that determine what we think of as probability? Well, it just randomly chose. It's a wall we can't even touch. We don't even know where that wall is. It's so murky.
The reality we experience is those probabilities collapsed down into a near certainty of nearly 100%. Because that's the thing that does happen, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that nature makes people go, well, what about all the other different probabilities? Which is also the thing that really gets you to the thing you're talking about, is the idea of every decision. But you have to define even what a decision is and how many outcomes you got. But that is where it comes from. You go, well, if every decision has a bifurcation point where it could have gone this way and this way, we know that reality went this way. But in the quantum realm, this is valid, and what happened to that branch,
Yeah, I wonder, let's say in shamanism, there's an idea of that the shamanic state of consciousness, where you're maybe on having visions and things, that is real, that that's grounded in reality, and this world, eyes open, that we see here. What makes that more real than this thought? And I wonder if, there's some element of those multiple realities in when you have that moment of thinking if it had gone down a different path, the probabilities.
Well, what makes reality different than a thought? That's a age-old sort of philosophic question, but there is a sort of answer, and that the real answer is consensus. As soon as you accept that other beings that besides you exist and are real, then I could point to that guitar and say, that's a teal blue guitar. And you can look at that guitar. I also see a guitar. It's steel blue. We could both touch it. We could both strum it. They will have, and other people can walk in the room, and we're pretty certain that almost anyone that walks in the room is going to have an experience. It's like that. So it's a repeatable, verifiable experience that anyone can have. And also can even, in terms of scientificness, right, can be transferred. Like, that's the thing about in science. It's not enough that I do an experiment. I have to publish exactly how I did it. And then, like, dozens more other people have to independently do it and say, I did that exact same thing. That's what I got.
Yeah.
And only then do we say that, I think we have a scientific consensus that this is reality. This is what it is, you know?
I think, I mean, I've never heard the consensus piece. That's really interesting.
It kind of reminds me of fucking
peer review.
Plato's shadows on the wall.
The
like
shadows,
we can all come to the consensus all we want, right?
Peer review
That's
is
a piece
exceedingly
too.
important in the scientific community. That's exactly what it's all about. Like, one person that says, it's just like anything else, really. One person that says something is just one person that's saying something. It is not, even if they're right, whatever, like, they're just one person. But if they are truly right, that's the thing about, say, physics or biology or any of these disciplines. If they're truly right, you put the right inputs in, you will get this outcome every fucking time. Physics doesn't change on you, so you could tell. Of course, it gets really hard. That's why they have like these hadron, like. The doing of physics is getting really difficult. You have to smash particles at the speed of, like, you know,
like trying to tear apart reality.
It's true. Like,
I'm still
the
stuck
amount
on doing physics.
we are past the point where you could drop a cannonball off of the Pisa and get any useful scientific
information. Which is kind of crazy. Like, I mean, 100 years ago, we're talking about the 1925.
20s, yeah.
Like, what was the world like?
Oh, I know. We've gone through so many changes, and it's slowed down.
Well,
there haven't been that many changes in now our lifetimes, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the 2000s
Post-internet.
itself is just
Internet.
it's all one big.
Right. The one thing was the internet.
Yeah.
Nathan or was it the guy who ruins everything? What the hell is?
Oh
that?
yeah, that guy. Yeah. Adam ruins everything. Yeah.
He has a really great talk about like the way language has changed. We stopped using the word decade to perceive, and we started using this word generation, and really the undertones that using one over the other indicate. You know, we used to think of like styles of the 70s. You can think of that, but now we don't think of like styles of the 2010s. But it's fucking what I have on right now.
Well, have you guys heard the term monoculture and that we are in post-monoculture?
I know monoculture.
Well, the
but I
idea of
don't know.
monoculture was like you used to get media through not very many channels, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So what? And it is especially relevant in the music realm, but it also works in movies and a lot of other realms. But especially, I could think of it in music. We could think of it in music. And there was these gatekeepers, the big labels, but that's how music got distributed. You had to go buy a physical thing, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And so things that got big across the board. You know, the Beatles will sweep America, Elvis, Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, whatever. And there's plenty of waves of lots of different music that was monoculture. When everyone was into fucking Thriller, everyone was fucking into Thriller. And the internet essentially destroyed monoculture. And that's why everything after like 2000, you know, whatever, a little X after 2000, is just like blah. Fashion stopped changing, music stopped changing, everything stopped changing, and there's just like all those almost like you say the quantum realm. It's like instead of big shoulder pads are in, it's just like that group has a thing, that group has a thing, that group
and that's actually what that word does when you're changing decade, when you're talking about a span of time. This is what we did back then. Like. Think about the fucking movie Wedding Singer, right? That movie was made in like 1998. It's talking about 1985. Like, imagine right now if we're like in how much ridiculous people were like, oh, look how I looked back then in that decade.
Look the damn same.
Yeah.
But now when we do that, we don't have decade anymore to refer back to. So we call it millennial. We call it
fucking G.
We start using these generation names. That generation.
Yeah.
And it seems like, okay, so now that generation can only do that, right? Those motherfuckers aren't still wearing shoulder pads.
Yeah.
No, right? Like that. The people change. Decades change.
Sure.
And now that we're using generations, we're limiting that change.
I don't really love. I mean, maybe it's the way generations are talked about in media. I
It
don't like
really-
it because
it's
it's like
weird.
a labeling of a person, right?
Of a whole
I'm a
group
Gen
of
X,
people.
right? So I'm Gen X. I'm lazy. Millennials are, well, they're also lazy. Well, anyway, I don't know, but we always get the different labels. But
Yeah,
you know,
but
that's
I'm poor
such a-
and lazy,
that's a
and
stupid-
you're-
that's
Well,
a
then, like,
stupid
the bias-
label to put on somebody. I'm
The
saying.
bias of like people in, let's say, their 40s, well, millennials are in their 20s being like they're lazy, and it's like they're 19 years old. Like they're not lazy. They're just
they're
finding
not-
their way
they're
in the
just
world,
19.
and they're at a different time in their life.
Well, and it's a different time period.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
talking to people like, yeah, I bought my house, $50,000.
I'm
It
just
was
saying,
like, that's the down payment
Well,
for my fucking house.
yeah,
You're
that's-
kidding me.
that's-
It's an absurd
that's
statement
absurd.
to call.
It is.
It's an absurd statement to call most anyone lazy.
Well, I'm just saying, but
Yeah,
if
you were
lazy
alive
or
and
not lazy
surviving.
or whatever, I'm just saying I always see broad statements about a generation.
Yeah.
Usually it's a millennial thing. Now it's like Gen Z. Occasionally it'll also be boomers, and then of course Gen X is in there. But anytime you're just like generation blah 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 has blah 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 trait, and that's the headline, I'm just like, just fuck off with that. Like,
Yeah.
what good does any
It's
of that do to
dangerous.
somebody?
It's
Yeah.
dangerous. It
Absolutely
becomes-
dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
fucking
that's
stupid,
It
too.
just encourages like monoliths of
But that fucking
who people
clickbait-
are and what
And
they are.
division, generational division, which is
clickbait
not what we
peripheral-
need,
No, we
right?
do not
Like
need
we
that.
need generations coming together.
Right.
The more we identify
Right.
by these divisions in our generations, the worse.
Totally.
Exactly. I've definitely hung with people that really have a strong hatred for boomers, and it's not like there's not reasons, but also it's just like, man, you got to be here and now and fucking maybe get over it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean growth, right? That is change. Like that is the only thing you can ever fucking really count on. Things are gonna change.
What are you
Yeah,
angry
and
at
including
when you get
people.
down to it? Are you, especially younger generations, get angry at the boomer, like that way? It's like you're literally angry that the sum total of humanity that came before you wasn't fucking perfect. Like, fuck, man. Like,
Oh wow.
we're a very imperfect species. Like, do your history. Like, it wasn't that long ago where we were just like, fucking this shit in the streets and people killing each other over fucking stupid shit. And
Yeah, and sometimes there's a privilege when you're born, like that
Yeah.
generation was, I think that generation was largely kind of like the second generation dealing with some trauma from World War II.
right,
Yeah, definitely.
And that's probably the most formative thing is having parents who were World War II.
Have you ever heard the theory that that's what the '60s explosion in Britain was all about?
That makes sense.
Because there were tons of these kids that were without fathers. They were kind of like left to run amok. And they invented the entire 60s wave
Counterculture.
of fucking rock and roll that we love in that country.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It
And
makes-
Pink Floyd even came talking about Pink Floyd. Even Roger Waters himself. I believe his father died in World War II.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And just
pretty
the
sure.
sheer amount of people that you take, you get back, you get your GI Bill, you get all these things. Like for a large swath of America, you changed a lot of people's lives. Sometimes for the worse, sometimes for the better.
Yeah.
But it happened like a wash across the goddamn country,
Yeah.
literally affecting everybody.
I guess I'm studying psychology, and I was learning about positive psychology and how through the history of like therapies, there's been effort in cultivating goodness in people, and that in the United States when World War II happened was where we kind of severed that piece of psychology. So we stopped investing in like how can we make people better? How can we make people happier? How do you thrive in a society? And that's not to place blame or anything, but because there was so much of that trauma and pain coming back from World War II, I think that it became like heal the wounds, and deal with that. But I think we need to move more into that energy.
Well, and then think about all that stuff, and then think about Vietnam too, because that's actually more my generation. Obviously, my dad was the veteran; I wasn't, but
Yeah.
I'm in that fallout period,
Yeah.
and I know exactly what some of that entails,
Yeah.
And I could see. I mean, it's funny. I just saw some internet videos of a guy ranting on about all the '80s Vietnam movies about how, but yeah, that's collective processing. You know, I don't even.
Totally.
And there's still plenty of. Yeah, I know. As a nation, we're still not. We still haven't quite processed the entirety of the Vietnam War. And in fact, some of the JFK stuff is going to come out real soon. Did you guys see that?
No.
Some of the final stuff that they've been keeping under wraps.
Ooh,
Which is,
under
again,
wraps.
I'm saying, why am I connecting those dots? You know, I'm just talking about festering wounds of our nation. You know, these things do. They have long-lasting consequences. Not only the assassination of JFK, but the question mark above it. Man, that's fucked up our nation for a long time.
Totally.
It'd take a long time for us to come to grips with that. You know, maybe we still haven't. Same with Vietnam.
I think the U.S. really is like dedicated to nothing bad can happen here. You know, and they're very. I mean, obviously, very defensive.
Like the propaganda machine.
Yeah.
They're a very defensive country. These huge military, and they're so.
Well,
defensive.
God, we spend enough on it. God, fucking damn.
Yeah.
That
But,
I think
you know, we all know that lots of bad things can and do happen to us, by us.
By us a lot. I mean, talking
Absolutely.
domestically. I mean, Denver is not immune to some of the even just more recent things. You know, the stabbings and. I mean, Columbine is in Colorado. What are the big bellwords of,
right.
you know...
that was such a seminal
that's
fucking
one of those
event,
moments
cultural
that
event.
like showed where we are fallible or we can be harmed. You know?
very much.
From the inside, to your point. Yeah.
I love that idea that, you know, what you judge your countries by, like, the worst. And if we really take that into mind, not just philosophically, but, like, look at the worst things that are happening. It can explain... like where we're failing in our grand system of care or, you know, opportunity or anything like that.
Yeah.
Definitely with more of the, you know, since we've made companies basically citizens, that you see where the resources and attention go when, you know, this citizen has billions of dollars. This one needs thousands of dollars. Like, I know exactly who I'm going to go help.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. You know, I was in elementary school when Columbine happened, going back to that, and I was like right down the street, and like we went on lockdown, and we didn't know what lockdown.
That's got to be
What
scary
is
for you
happening,
guys.
right?
Fucking A, man.
I don't think it was scary because there was no
You didn't know what
precedent.
Oh, that's
too,
true.
you know?
I mean, well, there were things
And
that happened, but
did
we
it
definitely
feel like
didn't
a
cover it
drill, or
like
were the
that.
teachers like, you could tell the teachers were like fucking a little bit shaken?
Oh, that's a good question. I wonder what they knew and what they didn't know.
Right.
I don't know if I remember, but I remember it feeling pretty. Didn't feel deeply alerted while we got the. While we
It
were
also
told, hey,
seems
we're
very
gonna be-
reactionary. Obviously not. I don't know. There's no protocol of what to do, which is why I guess they do what they did. But I mean, this horrible thing happens over here. Therefore, do something kind of unrelated over here.
Yeah.
Were they afraid that the kids with the guns were gonna actually come over to your elementary? No,
I guess so, or I guess I think maybe they didn't have enough information about what was going on, where they
When in
realized
doubt.
when in doubt, exactly. It was a risk assessment thing.
Yeah.
But that time was actually really formative for me because in the aftermath of that, we were going to Clement Park right by Columbine and going to the AMC Theater like right down the street from Columbine. And like I was seeing walls of flowers and people speaking and playing songs. And I feel like that was a cool piece for me as a kid, was seeing like how a community deals, and heals hopefully, or works through something.
It's true too. Yeah, that's another one of those events. Gosh, there's way too many of these in not only our regional but national history. But I guess that's yeah. What are you gonna do? Maybe the thing to do is to write a damn poem or two.
I mean, poetry.
That's a segue I'm tossing in there, man.
Good
Andrew will
segue.
be back momentarily, and you could think of what's the next poem on the docket.
Yeah, let me see if I can find in a similar vibe to that one.
Yeah, what does that lead us to?
Talking to God over shitty coffee at Dennis.
See, it's the other log line. I was gonna say you gotta let me do a blurb on one of your next books or whatever, because what was it? What was my? Do you know what my log line was? Prior to the thing I said about Monty Python, but it was Jack Kerouac meets Mitch Hedberg.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. That's a lot of fun.
I thought so, and I thought you gotta let me say that on one of your book blurbs because I think that I think that analogy is not necessarily inaccurate, and I think that might sell some books for you.
Yeah, that's I love that. You know, my favorite Mitch Hedberg is bananas are the opposite of stoplights. Green means stop, yellow means go, and red means where did you get that red banana?
Oh yeah.
I also like that anyone who knows Mitch Hedberg has some sort of Mitch Hedberg impersonation.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll tell you this. It's like I watch enough of his material, and I used to do sometimes, but I got, I don't want to be, that's just too much. I'm not that, but I will still sometimes throw out a delivery in the style of Mitch. Like I'll have something to say, and it'll just kind of come out very like Mitch Hedberg. Because,
you got some
he's
Mitch
woven
Hedberg
into the
energy.
fabric of our lives, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I used to listen to Mitch Hedberg. I still do, but I used to too.
That's good. A variation on a Mitch Hedberg joke.
Thank you very much.
My wife and I always mix up Mitch Hedberg quotes and Dimitri Martin quotes.
Oh my God, he's hilarious too. Talk about somebody getting in and then refining your style and your voice as a comedian, really, and fucking killing it.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. I can't find the damn poem. I really wanted to be talking to God, but we'll jump into something else.
Oh well.
Here, let's do a random one.
Randos.
Give me a number.
8.
8.
You didn't say from what to what.
I usually shoot low just because I assume it's to
36,982.
You said 2. All right.
Okay, that's good. I'm gonna have to count through these poems, so give me a bit.
Meeny, miny, mo,
You might lose some listeners as in doing this, but
well, it's a podcast. That's the thing.
okay, cool. This is a newer one, very different, but I'm curious what y'all think of it. It's called An Admittedly Less Than Comfortable Seat. It is something to witness an infant staring out of the window of a Boeing 737 as it seemingly lifts itself above the Rocky Mountains and proceeds to rise like the cost of life, 30,000 feet above sea level like hallelujah. Hallelujah to a new child on this planet, and hallelujah to the blood cell cars traversing the arteries of Denver below. My son rests warmly, gently in my lap, which has held not only the deep pain of an ailing planet, but also the profound weight of true love for a woman who dances like everyone is watching and she loves it. And I love her for it. And hallelujah, this child may have my eyes and jawline and smile and my stubborn conviction to independence, which I am every day of my life trying to replace with the holy surrender to everyone now and everyone before me, all trees, all winds, all as of yet unknown, imperfect human investigations into the hows and whys of this gorgeous place we reside upon. But he has her curiosity, and he has her pupils. Wider than life, hallelujah, wider than love, ready to dive beneath the great wave of each and every decadent morsel of a moment, whether it is a golden decadence or a hollow one. And I feel as close as I ever may feel to the astronauts who saw the blue marble of Earth from space forever changed into a recognition of inescapable wow, and all of the sturdy drumbeats of our fragile hearts gained by eating that wow each morning for breakfast. My child is made of that wow, and my wife, once girlfriend, once friend, once stranger, is made of that same wow. And yes, I too am wow, and I am proud of it, and especially when the reservoir of my soul is flooded by the inescapable liminal gratitude fostered by the clinical terminal of the airport. And as if it weren't enough, an extension of my idea of who you are lost to the middle of the heavens, floating for hours in an admittedly less than comfortable seat. And that's the promise. An admittedly less than comfortable seat. But Gandhi became Gandhi when he was resigned to a less than comfortable bed for months on end, sickened with Spanish flu and in turn the state of the world, and he too rose 30,000 feet above to find beyond his own narrow self-actualization a call to community actualization. And I too hear that call like the motherfucking horn of Gondor. And I see it in my beautiful child, in the way my hands fade a bit when I look in his eyes. And to death I say thank you. Thank you and thank you some more, because the old saying goes that scarcity creates value, and there is nothing more scarce than this moment, suspended in the air between the rise and the fall, where I promise you, dear world, I will love you imperfectly as I can. And I promise you, Joaquin, you are the world to me.
Fuck yeah, man.
God damn.
Thank you.
My God, that's such a good.
I mentioned the
Oh my
Kerouac
God.
earlier. I felt like that was a
right.
A little less Mitch Hedberg.
You connected
Wow, that's
Gandhi
such
with Lord of the Rings
effortlessly. It was so
and used the word liminal in one of the only contexts I'll actually give a pass to, because I'm fucking sick of that fucking word these days. But I'll give you a pass. It worked.
ADHD is a bit of a superpower in rare circumstances, but jumping from Lord of the Rings to Gandhi is, I guess, one of them.
And airplanes and imagery of, I always think that too. The arteries that are the roads and
Cars.
highways. That it is
Biomimicry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, especially the highways where they wind and stuff, and then if you fly in at rush hour and it's like full of cars, man, yeah,
It's so...
the analogy is right there.
I wrote that poem. I love airports, if you can't tell, and airplanes. I think airports, airplanes, I think being in traffic are three of those things that it's easy to get frustrated with.
Right.
But I think I'm like, holly fucking Luya. I'm in the liminal space.
It's mindset.
No one is expecting anything of me. This is my space. So I love those times.
I don't know. I like airport. I like Denver's airport, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shops there. It's all overpriced, but like
McDonald's.
you can just walk around for a while, and like I don't know how many times I'll be like, "Oh, your place is delayed." I'm like, "All right, well, let's just walk. Let's see what's here."
I always get the airport early because I don't like to rush. I hate rushing through an airport. That sucks.
It's scary. I mean,
Yeah.
Or I guess
anxiety
Yeah.
inducing, exactly. And so much better to just have you have a paperback book or something ready, and you just sitting there waiting for your plane, enjoying your book. Easy.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I love that.
It's a really weird mix of people too. Like the people you see, like you'll never see them in this kind of mode really anywhere out. Like this takes up like maybe 1% of their entirety of their life. You get to see them at this one weird state of their lives.
I like the DMV for that reason too.
Oh my God, that is even
Also-
smaller percentage.
Yeah, and also because I think it's rare that you find yourself in situations where you're interacting with people who are like notably different than you. Like I think our society kind of
Oh yeah, that's true. We
pushes
don't stand
back.
in those kinds of lines really
Again,
much anymore.
the internet, right? You used to have to go places and like mix up with people that like do anything, buy anything, do anything, even get tickets. You had to Ticketmaster. Once upon a time, you had to go and get in line and get tickets. And now everything's online, so you could do everything from the seclusion of your own little walled,
comfortable at home. Yeah, and like being bored, I think, is the thing we're missing out on sometimes.
Yes.
Like
Dude.
not having your phone in the waiting room at a doctor, or like that conversation with that person, you know? Because y'all do the like, ever like set your phone down and like, I'm not going to be on it.
And then like pick it up.
And then, yeah, you're like, oh, everyone in this room is on their phone.
I am that guy. I'm with you. So we'll be sitting and like waving at each other across while everyone else is doing that. I definitely like that. Sometimes
That'd be a cool another movie there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do sometimes feel like, am I just old or whatever? I don't like scroll. I do,
No,
like
that's
once a morning I scroll through the social medias.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
A little update, see how your friends are doing.
Yeah. I don't need much of it. And so actually, it's I just happen to bring this. This is a book. I'm showing it to this camera. Mindfulness by Felix Lopez, and this is Rebro. He's an artist that's going to come on our podcast, and he sent us this book in advance. I got to read it, but look, it's mindfulness. It's
That's
about
awesome.
the alchemy of now, which sounds like a very Eckhart Tolle thing, but
Oh, it totally does.
I love that. Do you know Eckhart Tolle's coming to like
the not
Performing Arts
Belko
Center.
or something,
Yeah,
right?
Belko.
Yeah. I love that dude.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I've totally listened to a lot. Not only, so I read, I had this old hippie dude in Kansas that I was friends with, and he totally recommended to me. And we started with the audiobook. And not only did we enjoy his message of be here now, power of now, but his voice was actually we
adds
enjoyed
a
it.
lot.
So we have a whole bunch of Eckhart Tolle recordings. We'll listen to him as we go to, if like we can't sleep, all right, just put him on and he'll just kind of lull us to sleep.
Oh, it's so great. And
Yeah.
the bell. Do you have something with the bell? You know, all his books
yeah.
have the nice
Absolutely, of course.
bell for like presents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have other hippie recordings that have done that too. I have a long history of being hippie, so I know a lot of
Same.
these tropes.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're great tropes, though. They're fantastic.
No,
I mean,
I'm with you. I listen to Ram Dass.
I was just going to
Probably.
say Ram Dass, my Be Here Now book, is still one of my cherished possessions. And I
so
love listening to Ram Dass talk.
Yeah.
And he's so human. That's the thing is that no one wants, I mean, maybe somebody wants like some quote unquote holier than thou someone to look up to. But I think Ram Dass is a great inspirational person because he's spiritual. I think he's got great stories. He's got a great way of looking at life. You could learn a lot from him, but he's just a fallible fucking human, just like every single one of us. I mean, he bakes that into his contents. You know that. And to me, that makes him more of a guru than a guru. Who wants a guru that's like floating on a cloud above it all? I don't get that, right? I'm just living life, you know?
Yeah.
Your guru's got tattoos and
Fuck it.
works
Well, I
as
don't
a
know if
barista
Ram
on the
Dass had
weekends.
tattoos, but yeah, fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just a guru that's living life.
Your guru has 4 DUIs.
I'm not saying I don't know. Is Ram Dass a guru? But whatever. He's got great lessons to learn.
You got to be careful on that road for sure. I like that story where Alan Watts probably too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They were talking, and Alan Watts says to Ram Dass, "You know what your problem is? You're obsessed with you're too attached to nothing." And that was like that's kind of his whole thing. I feel like you got him. Yeah.
Which is very Buddhist. This book is especially very Buddhist, right?
What kind of art does this?
Rebro. Okay,
Rebro
yeah.
do?
Actually, check. It's on the streaming platforms. It's REBRO, and it is. I classify it as new age music.
Okay, cool.
Which means it's. Do you remember like stuff like Enigma or some of that stuff? And he blends a lot of genres together. But ultimately, there's usually an electronic element in there, and there's certainly percussion. There's these. Those type of things are still organic, right? So there's electronic stuff, there's organic. Our friend Tommy Oliver, who's a great guitarist, actually did some work on one of his things. So like I said, he blends everything. It's a very eclectic, ultimately I would say new age music.
Yeah, then aligns with the book well, it sounds like.
Yeah, and he just went to, I want to say maybe Hong Kong or was it Singapore or something. He just went out east and he's back and sent us this book and I don't know, cool guy. He was. You want to tell the story about it?
Yeah, I actually haven't really listened to a lot of his stuff. He did give me a small Buddhist statue the day we all got kicked out of the Buell Media Center. He was supposed to be our guest literally for that day. We're gonna get into it. And we were escorted out of the building.
no.
Unfortunately,
It was a whole thing. It ultimately had a lot less to do with us than you actually think.
Since then, though, but we've been trying to get this guy in. It was, my God, it was so good. Would have been a really great episode, I felt.
Yeah,
Man.
I felt ready for that episode too. God, we were just
effort.
you know what? He gave me another little as a little triangle Buddha thing. I actually gifted that on. I felt like it was intentional though, because it was I felt it was a very nice gift and it represented something, and I felt like I needed to pass that on to somebody else, and I did.
I like that. Do you know Lenny Chernilla? He's a Denver poet.
No.
He he's pretty beloved, and he's very beloved, and he performed at the Merc for years. But someone told me that he used to go to people's houses and like take an object from their house and bring it to someone else's house. And I just thought that was really charming.
Keep changing shit around.
I got to confirm that really happened, but it's also
That's
kind
great.
of fun as a legend if it's not true.
Right.
I know what I'm doing when I get older.
Yeah.
Just blame it. I'm old. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Whoops. Yeah, that's kind of a great out
Oh,
to
man.
play in the right situation.
And then I'll use that to, introduce all these people. You know, you got to go get that thing from that person.
Maybe that's how you get into the theater.
That's funny. Another movie maybe we could do. That'd be a really great idea.
Actually, those speaking of books, you are published, aren't you?
Yeah.
You have a one? Oh, you hold it up to the camera and show it off. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I have The Heart is an Undertaker Bee is my newest collection of poetry. And shout out to Vinny Fasano who did this cover art.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is dope. That is something that Ram Dass himself would be proud to put on a. Let me get my glasses. I want to see this.
And Vinny's a mutiny guy too.
Look
Him
at
and his brother,
that.
they're awesome.
That's fucking excellent.
His brother is an artist. They're both poets. They're both artists, and his brother's an artist. And it's cool because they
Right.
Charlie does mostly black and white stuff, and Vinny's always like boldly in
Look, there's
color.
Denver in the thing, so it's still got a regional context.
Yeah, cool dude. I was like, hey, I would love you to be my book cover artist. What would you charge for something like that? And he says, for my cool community friends, that's free, buddy.
Oh, no. You're like, come on, bro.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Make it work.
Did you mention where this is on sale at? How can people get a copy of this thing?
There's copies at Mutiny,
All right. Mutiny.
and yeah, like we were saying, they're the easy ones to get stuff stocked and keep stocked with. So look it up online or go by Mutiny.
All right.
You have it online. MiddleCreekPublishing.com.
Yeah, Middle Creek's awesome.
www.middlecreekpublishing.com.
They're a ecology press, so they're always publishing nature stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. This is a very quality product. I feel the like the outside. Isn't that like? It's got that like slick. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah, that stick.
Yeah,
I love
there's
that
probably a
stick.
technical term. Like it's coated in like wax or something, but it's not. It's even too. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that feeling.
You know it's quality.
New bucks.
Are you reading from this?
I'll read something from there.
You'll read something from there. That's
Yes.
it's a good segue. Here, let me give you
great
this back. You
segue.
can read from it.
Let's see. I'm just going to read this kind of goofy one that I like. Bon Iver is my roommate. Bon Iver never offers to pay for my Del Taco. Bon Iver is chronically late to racquetball. Bon Iver leaves the pots in the sink to soak, but he never finishes rinsing them out. Bon Iver set like 7 alarms in the morning. Bon Iver bought these cowboy boots after binge watching a ton of Sergio Leone movies one weekend, and he never wears them. Bon Iver always puts on the meat puppets when he's high on edibles. Bon Iver has nothing but posters of Van Gogh paintings up on the walls of his room. Bon Iver buys a few sticks of Speed Stick at a time so he doesn't have to buy Speed Stick so often. And Bon Iver goes through these really somber winters where he'll just disappear into the woods for days on end, and no one will hear from him, and he'll come back and disappear into his room for a short eternity. And he'll come out with these beautiful songs, and they're really good. They're almost always really good.
Well, first of all,
Shoot me straight on what you think.
are
of
you a
that
Bon Iver fan?
Yeah, I am.
You like the guy.
I like Bon Iver. It's not personal.
Does he truly like the meat puppets? Is that trivia, or are you just making shit up?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be amazing? I was like, man, I would love to know if Bon Iver liked the meat puppets. And like, Too High to Die was his go-to.
Yeah, I want to know what Bon Iver is listening to in general.
Wouldn't that be the cool?
That would be awesome.
Man, meat puppets. what a reference, man. I guess you were. You did mention it. You were a Nirvana fan back in the day.
Yeah.
Was that how you? That's how the Meat Puppets came on my radar. Is that how it worked for you, or did you?
Yeah, and honestly, I think I listened to one or two songs of theirs, and I never found my way to them. But I was curious what was going on around Nirvana, and Meat Puppets came up.
Yeah, the Unplugged. I think that's the first time I heard a Meat Puppets song, and then I was like, okay, let's
dig into this. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I was a late Nirvana fan. I feel like most people are like maybe in their teenage years, late teens or something. I was like 25, and I was like, oh, I missed this band.
Oh, well, yeah, that happened. That happened to me with Travis. Like, I'd never heard any of their. And randomly, some YouTube channel that does pedals, JHS pedals, he did a whole, like, at the end of his episode, he's like, I love this album from Travis. I was like, how did I not fucking hear this?
I got to hear this, Travis.
Oh, yeah, Travis. It was probably the one with Does It Always Rain on Me?
Yeah.
But I like the one that's after that was, it's called The Invisible Band, that was produced by Niles Godrich. Niles Godrich, the Radiohead producer. Yeah, that guy. Dude, whenever that guy makes it, like, produces an album, it's great. Like, he's done everything from Beck to just so many, really, at this point. Like, he's worked with a lot of people. And almost always, it's like, oh, that's one of the best albums of your catalog. Like, Coldplay's a good example. The Coldplay album he did was the
He did Beck, Coldplay, and Radiohead?
Amongst others. Yeah, amazing. But he really gained notoriety and everything as the Radiohead guy. And then he became, like, so popular, everyone was going after him. And I think Beck was one of the first ones that I know he got offered that was non-Radiohead was Mutations. He did the Beck Mutations album, so good. And, I'm trying to think what else. But yes, he did do The Invisible Band.
I think he might have done The Information, too.
He might have done The Information, you're right. Anyway, fucking shout out to Niles Godrich. He's really, really one of my idols. We talk about him when we're in the mode of producing music because it's worth it. It's one of those things where it's like, I hate to necessarily on one hand dissect the art that I love, but then if you're creating art and you gotta like distill what you like, understand the things you like, and when like the things like some of the things within Radiohead and Niles Godrich and his production style is all the depth and richness and trying to understand that, not necessarily to duplicate it exactly, but if you could understand it, maybe you can bring to bear the fundamentals and principles into your own work and stuff like that.
Yeah, I never thought about that. And I think kind of what I hear is like, there's these two worlds, right? Like as an artist, like you can kind of be in your flow state, like doing your thing, and you're not in that analytical mind. But I think that's a cool role that a producer can play sometimes. So you can really be
take that
in the moment and doing that, and then they can be there to kind of...
Shit, we were talking about Dark Side. Was that before the interview started or after? But either way, we were talking about Dark Side of the Moon. Talk about an enduring. But oh man, that is like one of the defining ones. It's like we've all listened. Like, how many times in my life have I listened to that on my headphones? And like now I'm already like, you know what? It's been too long. You got to throw some headphones on and get your Dark Side on. But
there's something eternal about it.
Isn't it worth kind of sometimes reflecting? Why is this so? I definitely thought about this. You guys were talking about your Modest Mouse. For me, that was OK Computer. OK Computer was just like,
it's a good album.
But it's like, fucking, why is this art? Like, why is it so persistent? Why am I compelled to fucking listen to it? Why, when I was, why do I have to just get this over and over again? Oh, well, there's songwriting reasons. Maybe it's Tom York's vocal deliveries, but there's so many reasons. There's so much great instrumentation, and the production is part of it. I don't know. You can't unravel the magic of Radiohead with one little thread, but
it's hard.
You can certainly, whatever. It's always worth Van Gogh. If you were a fucking painter, I don't know, understand what's great about him. Not to emulate, but understand what's great about him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. And I think just because you're not directly inspired by it doesn't mean you're not inspired by it either, too. Like you might, you're a painter and you see a bunch of Van Gogh paintings. It might not come out directly in your art, but it's still in there somewhere, right. I think, sometimes.
I always pronounce it the John Lennon way.
Van Gogh.
Yeah.
I'm probably on the wrong track
he's just
a
Liverpudlian punk. I always loved it.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love the Liverpool accent. Van Gogh.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what he would say.
Yeah, Dark Side though. I think the themes are just really timeless too.
Yeah. The Wall too. I mean,
The Wall,
The Wall
too.
it's one of those things that a lot of people, it's the edge of Pink Floyd that some people reject, other people's don't, but goddamned if the themes and poetry throughout The Wall are not really goddamn strong.
I think In the Flesh is the best intro song on an album. I love that. So you thought you like to go to the show. So good.
And you know what's weird about, there's one song on The Wall that I absolutely adore, and it's like 20 seconds. It's the one that's like, does anybody here remember Vera Lynn? That little.
Oh, I don't know.
It's just like a little 20, I don't know, maybe like it's like a minute interlude, but I just love it because I think it's a beautiful little melody, and it also invokes Vera Lynn as the we'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when.
Oh,
and
cool.
So it's a
like
song
that vibe.
within a song. The lyrics recall it. I don't know.
That's beautiful.
To me, it really gives me a good feels. I mean, I love a lot of The Wall. There's so much. I love the way The Wall ends where it begins. If you could put it on, it's just a little. Yeah, it'll just literally
I didn't
connect.
know that. That's awesome.
Put it on repeat. It'll literally, the end will just connect seamlessly to the beginning. You won't even.
That's awesome.
Yep.
All right.
Fucking these
That's what we're
mad
doing
buggers
next time we
walls.
do shrooms.
Pink Floyd represent. It's like the number one band that's represented. We don't have that much shit, but we still have Pink Floyd shit.
Oh,
you see the pyramids over there. I mean, yeah, actually, those are just pictures of pyramids. It really doesn't necessarily mean Pink Floyd, but that's a poster from A Dark Side. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
from the album.
From the
I was
LP,
gonna say that
yeah.
looks like the guy who does their art.
Yeah.
I saw that recently.
And actually, I mean, first of all, what a great icon to use for a great. I mean, first of all, you could only use a pyramid as an icon, I think, for an album once, and they use it for the right fucking album. And I love having that poster because, in addition to what it represents, and obviously everything else, like the fucking Pyramid of Giza is another thing that is just, I feel, completely awe-inspiring. Just there's so much there. I mean. I love playing bass. I'll just be over here, and I just love sitting there looking at that fucking pyramid playing fucking bass.
What do you think the significance of the pyramid was for that album?
Oh, for the album. I was going to say, yeah. I was like...
Or to you?
Like, whoa,
You
whoa.
seemed lit up about that, though.
No,
Yeah.
for the album, I don't know. Honestly, well, the actual icon is really a prism, right?
Yeah.
And a
Reflection.
prism is in the form of a pyramid.
Yeah.
So that's really what it is. But somebody decided, pyramid is a pyramid. I'm going to throw this piece of art in there.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, you would not be doing your job as a publicist if you can't not match pyramid with the pyramids.
Yeah.
You would be fired immediately.
I do feel like there's something to be said about you take that thing out of this album and you're like, oh, they're going like this. It's a statement that's saying, this is one of the seminal works. Because that's what this is a defining work. Like, there's very few of things that have existed for so long. The pyramid is like number one on the list. Like, how it
kinda
got
have
built
to-
and why is still matter of crazy debate. It's amazing. It's an amazing fucking structure.
Yeah.
And so to compare your album to that, shit, you gotta
hold your
know.
weight.
You gotta, and they did though. They did.
did.
It's a
They
great
did.
album.
Yeah.
I decided I wanted to sing the first time we got fucked up on chlorocidins and listened to Dark Side of the Moon.
Nice.
Like, I was fucked up, and then Great Gig and this guy came on, and like she just starts wailing, and then I was just like, that's what I wanted. That is what I want to do.
That's transcendent shit.
That's
awesome.
it. That is fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I wanted to go back. Do y'all have any micro songs that you've written? Like short songs, like that Vera one?
Oh, that's a good
I've always
question.
had an idea of doing a
Sad
short
Sack
song.
isn't that long, but it's not that short.
It is really short.
It's pretty short. It's like a minute-ish.
Yeah, it's a
well,
minute
and Restless and Useless is straight up 2 minutes, but that's like
Nice.
punk style 2 minutes.
Oh, nice. So
It
it's-
is a fast 2 minutes. It is really, really short.
Yeah.
But I
That's
guess that
awesome.
kind of does count too, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just out of nowhere you fucking tumble down the hill in
Right.
a washing machine.
Yeah,
bucket.
all my favorite bands do end up having even if you're talking like the Beatles, there's like Your Majesty,
Yeah,
pretty nice. It's like
that's what I was
ba-doop-doop-boop.
thinking about that too.
Like there's like a Rolling Stone, and then the little Maggie May thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Walk
few.
down Line Street anymore.
Or there's that Little Beatles one too.
Found her, Robin the homeward bounder.
Yeah.
Dirty no good Robin Maggie May. Yeah, I love those. What a
It's on a roll. God.
Also, they're very tempting to sing because you can get through it real
I know.
quick there.
What a great thing. All my favorite bands have some good 45-second songs.
They're like tone
Gotta
setters
get on that. Gotta
too.
get on
and
that.
Okay, micro songs.
Yeah. You just gave Andrew an assignment.
Micro songs.
I want to hear some micro songs. That sounds fun.
It's actually easier. You don't got to worry
a whole
about.
album, and they'll call micro songs.
Yeah, I've been writing really
2
short
hours,
poems lately
87.
too, and that's
Short?
been- yeah, short.
Look, man, I don't know. Length, have you ever seen that clip online where someone was giving David Lynch a shit because he was doing a very long scene, and they're like, who cares how long a dead goddamn scene needs to be, right?
Yeah.
So there's that, but there's also on the flip side. I mean, honestly, take that statement at its fucking face value. Who cares how long it needs to be, whether it's a song, a scene, a poem? It either gets its fucking point across or doesn't,
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's interesting. I'm on this letterbox, the movie thing. I'm always rating movies, and when I'm rating movies, one of the factors I have to put into the equation is how long the movie is, right? Meaning, if you start making your movie very fucking long, you are definitively saying I'm upping my quality. Like it's this much engaging. It's
kind of a trust thing with your
because
audience.
you're saying look, we're going back to Lord of the Rings. There's a perfect Peter Jackson example. Hey man, I want to spend fucking 6 hours in Middle Earth. Let's go. But not.
Yeah, and then
So
the
you're saying
extended
time is a correlation of
I'm
interesting.
just saying that sometimes I want to just fucking hang out in the universe and I want to be there a long time. But on the other hand, there's way, way more times where it's like that movie was. I
Too
probably
long?
would have given it 4 stars if they cut a half hour out and made it concise. They trimmed that stupid subplot that went nowhere and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, so a lot of times it's trim the fat is the real answer. Same thing with fucking music, right? How many albums, especially in the 90s when selling CDs was a thing, a bunch of fucking filler,
Yeah, the filler.
One good song and all filler.
Yeah, you should have been more patient, probably.
Right. So, I'm just thinking, it's just whatever. Dark Side is a pretty short fucking album.
It is. It's 45 minutes
yeah,
or something.
it's pretty short. I'm not going to judge it on
I think
its
that's part of
length.
its brilliance. Is
It gets its point across perfectly. You've experienced something. In fact, it feels
Right.
like you've been there longer, and you're
Right.
like, really?
I agree.
Only
It does
46
feel
minutes.
longer.
Feels like 2 hours went by.
Yeah, when you get to Great Gig in the Sky
Yeah.
and you're just floating in that forever, it does feel longer.
Because it's
45
short
minutes.
as it is. Every single song takes its time.
It
Even
does.
we're talking about time. And you're when that shit comes on the radio, I'm always just what another fucking measure? Okay. Waiting for the, tick tock, waiting for the drum fill to actually, because I know that drum, but waiting. God damn it, it's another measure. It's it's a very patient album. At the same
is
time of
patient.
being boom. Oh, what a great album. I know.
Oh, so good.
Dark Side of the Moon. Hey, if you haven't heard of it, check it out.
Yeah. By Pink Floyd. P-I-N-K. Yeah.
Isn't that, though, the final word on that is, I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Roger Waters went back recently and made his own version, completely re-recorded the whole motherfucker. And I think it's out right now.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
And it's just the Roger Waters complete redo, and I have never even listened to it, but I've heard it's done, and I heard it basically is the same, but maybe, I don't know.
I am going to
heard that
listen to
exists.
this now.
Fact
Yeah,
check
I'm
me on it.
curious.
Go Google that later. Say Roger Waters, Dark Side.
Goggle it.
Yeah, whatever.
Goggle it.
Goggle it, yeah.
Speaking of Goggle, well, you have one more poem to give us, and then we'll maybe wrap this here,
This thing up.
this whole thing up.
Yeah.
He's got more than one more poem, right?
Well, we said 4 to 5. We're getting on an hour and however many you want, man. We are getting on an hour and change.
We rarely have poets on. I don't want it to
That's
end.
true.
No, this is great.
When the last time we had poets on, we had the Black
got-
Market translation.
Oh, yeah. And
Um,
they did poetry their style.
They did poetry their style, which is say there was
Which-
a lot of.
And I got to guest on one of their one of their songs. So it was
It's true.
nice.
That's awesome.
Well,
Yeah,
those
they're-
guys are
they're
so
fun.
Yeah.
That episode is so good. Really, just it's hilarious.
Cliff, I was in Boulder one day with my friend Ness, and they were like, did you know there's a bunch of poets who get together in an alley at midnight on the full moon? And I was like,
I've been wanting to go to this event.
This is a setup. You're gonna mug me.
yeah, exactly. Or I'm going to be in an alley by myself.
9
at
p.m.
midnight.
Meet me right here.
Dupes.
Right where it's dark.
And I didn't believe it, but I went, and Cliff runs that every full moon, I think for like 13, 14 years now. Snow, whatever, rain or shine. He's there. He said sometimes when it's been a bad snowstorm, he'll just be standing solo in that alley and read a poem, then leave. But that's how I met Cliff, and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's
That guy's
awesome.
such a character. What a guy.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, give me a number between 15 and 30.
27.
27, okay.
Dun, dun,
It's just like,
dun.
I feel like it's one of those magician tricks. And it's like,
No.
Is this your number?
Is 27 your number?
He did it! Oh my god!
you know? God damn it. You should take this shit to the street.
Man,
You
Look
telling
out-
him to
look out, David
prostitute
Bla-
himself? What are you
Look out,
saying?
David
Take
Blaine.
that shit to the street.
All right, I'm going to do this one I've memorized that I like to do a lot.
All right.
There's, since we're on the podcast, there's a book, I don't know if y'all have read it, Entangled Life, by Merlin Sheldrake, which is an amazing name.
Yeah, I was going to say best name ever.
And he's like a mycologist, so that just adds to his whimsy in addition to his name. But it's all about fungi and mushrooms and stuff. And there's a part where these two scientists, these two women in the 70s, essentially put forth like a theory of outside of evolution, there's involution, which is, whereas evolution is like a divergence from the norm, involution is when two things come together as a means to adapt. So I really like that word, involution.
Is there like a context or example?
I would say, like maybe it's hard for me to say offhand, but I think like a flower and that changes its colors to be more visible to a bee. But that's more like evolution. I guess mushrooms in their relationship with trees a lot of the time is a good example.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, where they're both thriving because the mushrooms get the decayed matter and the trees are able to connect and share energy.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a poem called Involution. It is an inherent act of defiance to come closer in an expanding universe. It seems, my friends, what we need in our late hour of humanity is a desperately intentional and radiant involution. What bravery would it be if we said no to everything that is in each other? What audacity we would be made of to be late to work because we had not yet departed from our play. To trim the entanglement of our trespasses into a story that we could softly hold. Let us make time to fold into one another, to lean in to leaning in, to hold each other's pain like an interwoven blanket clutched in our collective hands. To wipe the war paint off of the face of the culture that we have been told is our culture, and to have the courage to paint nothing new in its absence. Can't you see? The war has co-opted our identity of surrender. Do we not surrender our singular hope to the communal dream? Does the tree not surrender its untamed branches, broken branches, untamed children, to the ghost ether of the river that we've all always known? Do we not surrender our existential squawking to the patient hum of the earth, which sings to us, listen, listen, like the thunder listens to the lightning. Listen, like the hungry wolf listens to the sanctified cracking of the bones of the rabbit. Listen, as if it were the most measured movement you'll ever teach your body. Your body, the sacred fruit of your soul, offered as you wish into a righteous being, a righteous work, and then collapsed into itself. Not a structure buckling to a boom, but an echo surrendering to its sound. Thank you.
Wow.
Gotta love like two people. It's just a great audience size.
Well, you got 100% buy-in. That's not too bad.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Oh man, the whole audience.
You don't have that. Yeah, you don't have that guy at the back who's just like on his phone.
Yeah,
you should
totally.
get into speech writing.
Oh,
seriously, like, yeah, I think you have just a great grasp of the English language and your ability to connect emotions with visual ideas. It just works so. I mean, like, yeah, you can make anybody who gets your speech, like they're gonna talk anybody into anything. Good Lord.
Wow.
God, I really, really love your writing. We were talking about this before we were filming, but like, first time I heard variations on a complaint in a restaurant, I just thought this was the most fucking brilliant thing I'd ever heard in my life. Like, seriously, it's, the imagery that you use, I don't know, you feel. I feel like you identify with that seat, both the server and the guy sitting in the chair, all at the same time. And so real. It's so modern. I think you capture like right now.
Oh, thank
fucking
you.
perfectly. And I think that's the point of a lot of art. You know, we're born in this time.
Yeah,
and
that's
us
what we gotta do, right?
trying to capture what's going on right now.
Right.
I don't know another contemporary artist who's
going back
who's
to
really catching right
the
now.
poem you just said, man. The fact that our universe is expanding also bums me out, man.
It's not all bad.
You know, part of the reason, it's expanding, but space itself is expanding. That fucking blows
wild.
my mind.
That's wild.
But that's part of it. And so when space itself is like bloating out, what happens is if you think of like that as like a big grid or something, and all the grid itself is getting bigger, right? But what that also means is that over huge distances, big distances, things are getting farther away than even light can fucking chase.
It's fucking
light will
wild.
never get there because it's going away that fast over these long, long distances of space expansion.
That's insane.
Yeah, and also the fact that it is continually going to expand. Will be a very lonely universe in a few. There's like so many.
Atheists win, then, man. The
But
world
in
is
the
nothing.
but
Literally,
actually, though, in
the
the
universe is
Ramdas
fucking
and atheists
nothing.
Yeah,
win.
yeah. But in the short term, the Andromeda galaxy is going to kind of like intersect with ours, and we're going to kind of commingle galaxies. So, I mean, that's a short term in the next, X
Billion
billion
years or something?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but we have that to look forward to.
So stay tuned.
So basically, galaxies on the
keep you
whole
updated.
are going to get lonelier and lonelier. But we're going to have like a little bro soon, or sis, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So. And then maybe we'll have a little Star Wars like foray in that context. Wouldn't that be fun?
My brain always wants like a why. Yeah, Star Wars, that'd be fun. Just like, why is it expanding? And I feel like there's not always.
Yeah, I
why.
think it's a wrong question to ask, which seems.
It is the wrong question.
Yeah, it's not intuitive because that's how we
that's
break things down, right? Ask the why.
That's the question that's been fucking with fucking scientists for a long time. Because they were able to basically detect expansionary universe stuff. Oh man, I don't even know the history. I want to say like 40, maybe 50 years ago. They could start measuring things, even in the far distance, especially, though, when Hubble. So go to the early days of Hubble. Those were the telescope. That's when they really can start seeing this shit. What? Look at that. That's moving that fast. That the distant thing is moving that fast.
It's insane.
So they could make these measurements, the why The why is I don't know the history of that whole space thing that I said. I guess I should research that more but I do know I read that in physics books and I do believe it's true. But absolutely fact check everything you hear on the internet, kids.
That's a good tip for 2025 and forever.
I'd be more concerned about the black holes that are in the middle of both of those galaxies because really that's what's going to happen, right? They're
the
going to
center of every
swirl
galaxy
each other
is
and
a supermassive
destroy a
black
large
hole
section of the goddamn universe doing
That's
it.
wild.
Black holes are just
crazy.
big things. They have this property and they kind of are scary, but
By scary, you mean completely unknown,
but they're
and
also
completely dangerous?
whatever. They're not.
And the inevitability, it seems to all functioning.
They-
I mean, not even to say life, but any kind of complex things that happen.
Right.
Either there's empty space or there's black holes surrounded by a bunch of shit
Well,
that's
but-
about to get eaten by a black hole.
Oh, black holes also evaporate. This was the contribution of
yeah,
Stephen
but
Hawking
after it eats
to-
everything.
Whoa.
It does, but they do eventually.
It's not
evaporate.
he's going to go away soon. Don't worry.
No, but
He's
yeah.
going to eat everyone and then he's going to leave.
They do. They weaken
not pay the tab,
They weaken
and
and
it's
die
gonna be
and
really sad.
evaporate out.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's Stephen Hawking.
So
radiation.
maybe expansion's not always the worst thing because that's the alternative, right?
Well,
Yeah,
what are
that
we
is-
really realistically? Are we visiting any of these galaxies? No. Isn't it amazing though that there's so many millions of galaxies that we could even see, and that's a whole galaxy. That's why honestly, I am a fan of Star Wars, but I bring it up because that's the kind of imagination I appreciate because
Yeah, connecting
go
this.
farther than that because look at all those galaxies out there. All this shit most likely kind of probably exists in some approximation thereof because look at all the possibilities. Again, you don't need quantum physics necessarily to go how many possibilities are there. Look out in the night sky. Look how many fucking possibilities there are. Those all exist.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like this American mythos around the time when space was a thing. Star Wars,
Yeah.
how fucking cool.
I like the ability for art to push the real, the real silence and the real innovation in the ideas. I love old sci-fi short stories. I fucking love Isaac Asimov is one of my favorite fucking writers. And just his ability in the fucking 40s, 50s to imagine and get pretty goddamn right.
He was a hard science writer.
Yeah,
He
the
kept
way
to the
things are
science.
going to evolve
Yeah.
in the future and what that's going to do to the human psyche and a lot of his books, about these bloodlines that split across the galaxy. And now in their world, man, what they do and who they are is it's legend. There is even some of his books they don't even know about Earth. They're all
it's a whole other thing.
yeah,
I've
this
never
whole
read him,
other
but
idea. Oh God, I love Isaac
What's a good
Asimov.
starting point for Asimov?
Foundation.
Yeah, Foundation.
Is
Is that the name? Because that's convenient too.
Actually, I would do the. I'll look
Wait,
him up
not,
here in a sec. He has a whole series of these mystery. Yeah, these mysteries concerning the with
Oh, he
one
also
main
did-
detective, but it goes across the galaxy, and he envisions this. He envisions this future world where all these things are going on, and
iRobot is part of that or
iRobot is a collection of short stories
Right.
Okay.
about robots and he's the founder of
Idea.
the 3 laws of robotics.
I didn't know that.
And it's a whole it's a whole collection of short stories about how you can break basically those laws. How those laws can turn around on the user if they're not enforced correctly, or even small deviations in their explanation or their execution can really turn the whole idea of a robot and your protection into question.
Wow.
He loves to mind fuck himself. It's clear, he gets into these really intense
Well, you
conversations.
also like Philip
of
K.
psyche.
Dick, right?
Love Philip K. Dick.
He's the king of mindfuckery, right? The
But
king
we-
of mindfuckery. Goddamn. Anyway.
I mean, he was talking about artificial intelligence and
Yeah.
these independents back before we even knew we could do that.
Right.
That's wild.
Those ideas that can translate into reality. You're thinking, you're dreaming so far ahead. Really, I think that's what it is. You're dreaming that shit into reality.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like real prophecy, actually, where you're able to really.
Because it's like it's not necessarily like it's not token dreaming. It's like a very logical dreaming.
Yes. Yeah. You're seeing it. What was it?
Again, the cause and effect. He's positing. I see this as
Einstein's
a thing that's going to happen.
thought experiments, I guess. Yeah.
He's interested in that consensus piece too. Like, there's got to be some agreement that.
I think every science fiction writer should. That's the science part, right?
He does a really good job of playing his own, foil. Trying to present this idea and then like attack it really hard from to really get the most out of what this idea means to the people who experience it.
Sci-fi is great for that ideation, putting fucking crazy.
I think literature in general, though, where you can push ideas. I think some really great poems and really great writers in the past kind of pushed us into better ideas of thinking. I mean, fucking Da Vinci, I mean, he used his engineering to really reshape the way we conceive the world around us even now.
Totally.
Jules Verne. There's a lot of times where writers have posited the future.
Yeah, Jules Verne.
And the future happened,
shit.
right?
In the sci-fi.
Well,
but
even Time Machine didn't happen, but I was thinking more along 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. But some of these things that were science fiction become science fact. Some things don't.
Yeah.
That's
it's
profound.
Interesting. And then it always scares me a little bit. I don't think this is the answer, but it always scares me when people suppose what evils will exist in the future, and then those things sometimes take form. And I'm like, did this end up being like kind of a playbook for this?
Right.
The self-fulfilling
prophecy. That's exactly it. Right.
Yeah. But I don't think that's.
But again, I always think about. We talked earlier about A More Perfect Union, sort of a dystopian novel, and dystopian fiction. It has this place in culture, and I don't think Orwell is writing 1984 going, "This is fantastic." I think they're just. They want to put up warning signs. They want to put up posts.
They have a bigger purpose.
This is a big post in the road. You cross this fucking line. This is what it looks like. Don't fucking cross this line,
Yeah, they're canaries in the coal mine.
That's it. Oh man.
My God, another one of our fucking favorite.
Do you have to deliver that poem before we let you off the hook today?
I'm not feeling that.
No, he's not feeling it. Don't force him.
I'll do one more.
Okay.
Yes, we got one more.
Okay.
I think that'll be a good way to wrap up.
Okay.
Gosh.
Actually, I'm going to play that one on Monday on our radio show.
So that's perfect.
Awesome.
God,
Thank
another
you so
really,
much.
really great poem. God damn, you're a great writer.
Thanks.
We need to have you start writing for. We got to find some way to get you writing for this show.
Oh, I'm excited for your book. That sounds so awesome.
Oh my goodness, yes. A More Perfect Union, please go online. Figure it out. Also, Brice, Brice got his online. What was the name of the?
All right, what was
where
the dub of the publisher where you could buy it at?
Yeah, shout it out.
Oh, Middle Creek Publishing.
That's it, Middle Creek Publishing.
Middle Creek Publishing.
Or go to Mutiny, baby.
Mutiny.
Yeah.
Mutiny.
You got it on the rack.
That's the best option. That's option A. But if somebody lives up in Evergreen and they want to buy your book, just let them buy it online.
Yeah. Totally. Just go to the site and it's on there too. Man, I really want to find this Talking to God, but we're just gonna roulette a bit again. Let's read some new shit. All right. So, do y'all know what crown shyness is? I didn't know what this was.
No.
I just learned this recently, but trees at the top, the way they grow.
Okay, now I know what it is, but yes, continue.
Yeah, just for anyone who's curious, it's where the trees don't really touch. They kind of leave space between each other when they form their canopies.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, and you can see pictures of it, and you always see that when you're taking that shot that's right up, and you'll look at how the trees are they're almost like puzzle pieces, but they do not touch. They do not touch.
Yeah, they don't touch, and if it's a little windy, it's so pretty, just the way they look together.
Yeah, I never realized that.
Yeah, so this is crown shyness, and it has a quote from a poet I really like at the beginning, Art Goodtimes. And the quote is just, "No more kingdoms," which is like an awesome line in one of his poems. He did that Punketry once. This guy's like very into like, he's a big part of the Telluride Mushroom Festival, and he's just like, he's my hero, essentially. He's just like a great public figure and really moves into that space of being like the poet character in that way, where he does get big and say, "No more kingdoms."
The great bard.
Yeah, he really is. That's the best way to put it. He's a great bard. Okay, no crown shyness, no more kingdoms. The upper branches in phenomenon do not touch, but breathe in the open canopy together, an intimacy built around boundary, an agreement to say yes to one another by saying no to more, a hierarchy that reached the sky and said to itself, "Enough is enough, isn't it? Babel didn't fail to reach God. After all, it just learned to find it in the hands that built the tower together." To remember your roots has always proved a radical act, after all, and crown shyness is not at all shy, but more so an armistice before a war ever occurs, a treaty before blood, the storm, limbs, the leaves, all turned upward, pointed and proud to the sun, a billion crowns. And not a single kingdom to be found anywhere. The pieces would fit together the same as continents, but rather than holding tightly, they let go and make space for the vast, blue reality that they all share, the long breaths between them, the love unspoken, where eternity resides. Thank you.
Hell yeah, man.
That stuff's always hard to write about, though, because like the crown shyness itself is such a is like the thing.
The thing.
Like it feels like it might even be more effective for me to just be like, "All right, guys, come see this thing," 'cause it's just so cool. Love it.
But it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
And also, you start with
Yeah, I was thinking, yeah.
Well, if you saw a poem and it just said crown shyness, and then you saw a thing that said no more kingdoms, then you're going to start thinking about a king's crown and not the crown around the thing.
Around the, yeah, that's a
and
good
so then
point.
you're going to make some metaphorical connection, maybe.
Yeah. Totally. You could go, that'd be interesting to read it without that context, and I should have someone do that, see what they think.
I think our society is just suffering through a bit of crown shyness.
Yeah, right? It's one of those things. It's like the quote at the top of the movie. Like, it might be like whatever, but it threw something in your mind. And now that's in my mind as I'm going into this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's
What
cool.
made you decide to want to write that at the top of the poem anyway?
No more kingdoms is like get rid of the hierarchies and build mutuality, and that's what I've seen in crown shyness is like no one's taking too much, everyone's taking what they need and leaving space for each other.
Cool. All right, man.
Is that our ultimate goal then as a society, to kind of have that fit together like a puzzle piece?
I think it's a good starting point.
I think it's better than alternatives, I guess.
Yeah.
All for me, none for you.
Yeah. Just some mutuality.
It's funny. I saw this video. I watch these sometimes mathy videos, and this one was a little bit on game theory, but it came to this guy that really dug into the prisoner's dilemma. You guys a little bit familiar with that? You could phrase that thing in several different ways, but they just phrase it in this really simple way where you could get points. You could get points by cooperating, but if you don't cooperate and you got the most, you get more points. Anyways, this whole strategy, right? You don't need to know that much to understand what the bottom line of this is. It's because they were able to program in good strategies and nasty strategies. Nasty strategies are the one to dissent first, and then you could retaliate or not retaliate. You can make decision points on that, but they would be the first to, not cooperate, essentially.
I see.
And then there's nice ones. Here's the fun thing from the mathematical game, and they ran all these simulations. All the nice strategies win. The nasty ones never win.
Oh, that's interesting.
And in fact, the one that won, and they basically repeated this several times. They were able to use generational data. They were able to use previous results and try. But the one that kept winning every time, no matter what you threw at it, no matter what could be programmed, it's a simple program called tit for tat. And it's basically always cooperate, unless motherfucker stops cooperating, then you retaliate once. But here's what tit for tat also does. So it's like, don't be a pushover. So if somebody, retaliate against it, so it descends, you descend.
Be defensive.
Yeah, you descend.
Yeah.
But then if that thing goes back to green, tit for tat goes right back to green. So quick to retaliate, quick to forgive. And it never is nasty, and tit for tat always wins. And what's kind of funny is you see that he talks about how you can translate this into nature, talking about evolution, going back to evolution, species living together. We think about cooperation. We're humans. We have these like brains, and we think about it, but it happens out throughout nature all the time. In animals, if you think about it, they're not going to school and learning like, hey, go sit on that impala and pick the ticks off it and whatever that bird is doing, right?
Yeah.
Now, these are like encoded genetic strategies. And this math almost kind of showed that they're winning. That's why they do win. And that's why we have beautiful things like, anemone and fish that live in the anemone against other things. Like all these strategies is that life flourishes under cooperative conditions. Yeah, there's competition too.
Well, sure.
There's both, but the cooperation is formative in a sense. It's woven into the DNA of the organisms, right?
Well, that's what made things thrive, I guess, right? Because if it was all competition,
right?
We see that actually out there. Low on resources, high competition. That doesn't it doesn't thrive there.
No,
nothing thrives like that.
And the basic one easy way to take Prisoner's Dilemma and they throw it into nature is he was just saying like, see how these impala, they will pick ticks off of each other.
Yeah,
like that's not in their that. It's not in my best interest to pick ticks off of you, other than the fact of if I do that for you, you'll do it for me.
Yeah.
And that's like literally it. But if you don't have that cooperation, then all of a sudden you get Lyme disease throughout the population because of too many ticks.
Yeah, everyone loses.
Yeah.
Traffic's always great for those kind of situations, I find too.
I do agree. Yeah.
Where like someone like tries to cut through, and it's like you're slowing it down for you and for everyone else because you're trying to do this thing.
But also mathematically, just from the lane change thing, take that lane to the very end. Mm-hmm. People that want to move over prematurely to be like, I don't know, nice or convenient, the optimal traffic flow will take that lane to its very fucking almost the end, whatever. You know how people merge in too early? Yeah, don't merge in too early. Take it to the end.
Yeah,
it's mathematics, dude.
That.
This has all been shown. Again, fluid dynamics. Do you know traffic follows the same pattern of fluid? You could use the same math. Damn math.
Interesting.
Math of water through pipes will translate to cars on a highway. Like
that's
for
cool.
Fucking Batum. Same equations.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
That's really neat. I love that.
Makes you feel a little small, right?
Yeah.
We think that's this very advanced thing we're doing with these cars, and it has all these fucking electronics, and we're GPS tracked to the world, and they're like, yeah, it's just water.
You're just a larger particle. You have to expand the particle size to be the size of a car, but other than that, the math is the same.
Yeah, that's
wild.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
your water flowing. That's what it does.
Yeah, so people that know if you're modeling highways and how well they will do, you could use those equations and see how they flow.
Build it out.
And it's the same equations that physicians might be looking at when they're talking about flow of blood through your fucking veins and shit like that.
Yeah. I love that. I love the micro and the macro stuff. It's just so I find that really reassuring.
Yeah, right? I always think about, like, I did take math as a thing in college, and it's kind of weirdly divorced from everything else in my life, but there's something about it, and I think maybe you kind of that's the thing about it that I really truly love, is that math unifies things that you never thought were similar at fucking all. Yeah. And math says, hey, you know what? Medium. That is that. Going back to even Isaac Newton and figuring out that the reason why things drop, that is actually the same thing that's keeping that moon around. Like,
that's
who
wild.
Fucking thinks that way? Who fucking thinks that way?
That kind of shit?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He did it. Isaac Newton was
about abstract thought. God damn.
Name. If you want someone to be the shit, name him Isaac is my conclusion.
Right.
There's some great Isaacs out there, it seems.
It is a great name.
You know what's funny is there are, like, in both math and fucking science, there's the phrase standing on the shoulders of giants. And that's true, and there's a lot of incremental change. But Isaac Newton stands alone is like, there's a before and motherfucking after Isaac fucking Newton.
Yeah.
Not only in physics, but he invented calculus. And calculus, I couldn't, to explain how world-changing that is to non-math people, but like it changes everything. It changes financial markets. It changed how you could predict the future. It changed, obviously, engineering. There's no computers without calculus. There's no going to the moon. There's no fucking airplanes.
Yeah.
It's like in music, there time before Menudo and then when Menudo was a thing.
Yeah.
Changed the world.
Yeah. So none of this was possible without just one guy did this shit.
We'd never have
No,
Justin
one guy
Timberlake.
laid the foundation for this shit. That's what was insane.
And in another way, I guess so many things around him did too. And, you know, like.
It's true. And Euler actually developed a version of calculus semi-independently of Newton, but they both existed in the same circles and were getting some of the same inputs. So that's why these things can kind of independently come up, I think.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. They were kind of competing because they had there's the idea, there's the what derivation is, and then there's integration. There's like the two pillars of fucking calculus, and they're both talking about rates of change, area under a curvature, some of these things.
That sounds like evolution and
right. There are problems
involution.
that two smart people would attack, right? And the fact that they both attacked it, and they both got roughly the same. You could. Right, the calculus that we use today is like Isaac's ideas and Euler's ideas just merged together, but they were similar enough that we could basically just merge them. And now we have one calculus, but they were two different ideas merged.
The fact they all worked out, like two different guys doing equations, like
because that's math.
Yeah.
And math is truth. Talk about truth. There's nothing more truthy than math.
Yeah.
Truly.
Math it's a great language.
Yeah.
It's a reliable language.
And that's going back to the pyramids. The pyramids are literally telling us stuff. Through what language is that? Not the language on hieroglyphs. We could barely understand what the fact is. The pyramids are telling us stuff through math.
Yeah.
They truly are. Through how they're oriented, through the ratios they use.
It's intentional.
Yeah, it's intentional. And it's telling us stuff. It's a message encoded in the one true fucking language that anyone, even an alien civilization, will basically be able to say if they know mathematics, they know everything from the Pythagorean theorem to fucking binomials and calculus and all this stuff, because all of that will be inevitable once you set upon the road of math, which humans have tread for fucking good
long time.
Who knows, right? Yeah, exactly. Who knows when the math first started, when people first started counting shit.
something like 200,000 years ago.
Yeah, right? How long ago? Anyway, what an amazing way to just end on that concept.
I agree. There's a lot to be grateful for when you look at things.
I have to agree.
Yeah,
I
man,
think we got to
totally.
remember that, especially going into these.
It's mindfulness.
Yeah, these kinds of.
I think gratitude's
Yeah.
huge right now.
I agree with that. I agree.
And not in a bypassing way, but just as fuel to keep going through this bullshit.
It's true. It's true.
Well, I mean, it's easy to have that stuff be the world, like that for all intents and purposes, everything that is going on in the world. And it's important to remember it's not.
Yeah, and we could also shit on internet destroyed monoculture and this, that, and the other thing, but it's given a lot to our lives, you know. I myself started this conversation telling you how I'm ordering most of my comic books online because it's hard to go find them at a store, and the stores don't even sell. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a stupid, trivial example, but how many goods and services do we have that we dial up online, comes to us online, we connect to our friends, even if you hate social media, you still probably use it some degree.
You got to embrace it, to be honest. Why fight change? This is where we're moving to. Refine it. If you're not there to have a voice about it, you fight it the whole time. You can't make the decision about it now.
It's there's things about
It is
social
gonna be
media I don't
everything
like,
you
but
hate.
I don't fundamentally dislike it. And in fact, that's how I know about most fucking shows that are coming up. The Paranoid Image show I'm going to tonight.
Yeah.
Nice. That'll be fun.
This
It will
is
be.
True.
Okay, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. This is awesome.
Thanks so much for coming down. I'm so glad we finally got you in our studio. We wanted you to have down in the Denver Open Media Days. And
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for making time. And yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. This
It's nice to just get some chatting in too, to just.
Yeah,
I always end up shooting the shit and taking so fucking long in our podcast.
Well,
I have another 2-hour pod here, guys.
Black Market Translation and maybe a couple others. We really get into I guess we get really off topic.
We spent 2 hours with William last week. 2 hours with Queso.
That's true. Good conversation. I think that's my favorite part of all these podcasts.
Isn't that what a podcast is supposed to do?
I hope so. I think so.
Yeah, we take art that we really, really appreciate and we really, really love, and we get to talk about it and the philosophy behind them. And anybody who just moved to Denver, I think, should all just start listening to the podcast. Like, this is the city. You can just listen and this is what the city's about.
Things. We have
names
guests.
of places, events, things that are going around. Like, I like that these are all current too. We don't do these in a box, but like we talk. On the radio, we try to stay neutral so that you can listen back to them.
We're kind of zeitgeisty, or at least the fact of I don't know why. The thing that I like to talk about, you even mentioned in your email, like, what are the topics? I was like, well, we don't really bring topics, but you know what? The thing that we like to talk about is the thing that's fucking on our mind. What it is, whether it's the news story or whether it's a show you just saw or like a fucking movie you really just like, whatever. The thing that's on our minds. That's what we like to talk about.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Keeping a record is what we're doing.
Yeah. It's totally.
We're cataloging the indie scene here in the 20s. Yeah. I'm gonna say it. Yeah. Fuck it. It's the 20s now.
It's the 20s.
It is the 20s.
Is it roaring? Are they roaring?
Yeah. And we only got 5 more years left, so let's make them fucking roaring.
Yes. All right, Brice. I'm shutting it down.
Okay.
Say your final goodbyes.
Huzzah. Goodbye.
Good night.